And we move to a catch weight of 140 pounds between DJ and actor Patrick Cornett and Shad Walters. Tail of the tape, presented by the Palms Casino Resort. Here is the numbers. Cornett, 4 years older than Shad Walters, who is 1 inch taller, will have a 1 inch reach advantage. And you see that Patrick Cornett missed weight. He came in heavy, took this fight on only 3 days notice, so we give him a little grace on that. He is making his LFA debut tonight. Now for the official fighter introductions, back inside to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds and an LFA catchweight at 140 pounds, brought to you tonight by Palms Casino Resort. Here to play. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This striker stands 5'6", weighed in 139 pounds. He holds a professional record, 1 win, 0 defeats. That win coming by way of knockout. Representing Northern Illinois Combat Club, fighting out of Rockford, Illinois, relentless Shad Walters. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a martial artist standing 5'5", in 140.4 pounds. He holds a professional record, 2 wins, 1 defeat, with both of those wins coming by way of knockout. Representing Syndicate MMA, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Patrick Cornett. Your referee in charge of the action, Jason Herzog.
Good, our fighters have gone over the rules. Were there any questions for blue? Any questions for red? You want to touch gloves again? Do it now. I'm not ready to fight.
Shad Walters with the blue tape, just 2 months after a knockout win in his pro debut, returns for his 3rd fight of 2023. As I mentioned, Patrick Cornett stepping in on short notice, guys. He is looking for his 3rd straight victory. Comes in with a 2-1 record. Ron Kruk, Cub Swanson, and Gilbert Melendez with you here for the LFA 173 preliminary action.
Hey, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And Cornett is jumping on a great opportunity here in Las Vegas, hometown, fighting for the LFA. Whoa, a lot going on immediately.
Man, some power on display by Cornett, and now he takes Walters down.
Yeah, he's wrapped up on the neck there, switching off, playing in the guard. He looks like a big, strong guy. Obviously, when I saw a picture of him, I didn't expect him to be 5'5". So, I mean, this guy's compact, right?
Absolutely.
So he needs to be heavy on top and just get some ground and pound going.
Yeah, and with, 3-day notice, maybe you want to try to get in and out as soon as possible. I mean, that's a hard thing to say. You always want to be smart, but sometimes you want to get it done right away. I mean, I took a fight 3 weeks notice, but 3 days, that's incredible. How about you, Cub? What's the closest you ever done?
Man, I've never done well with short notice fights. I always felt like I just wasn't going to give my best performance, so I tried to opt out. I think the shortest I've done is a couple weeks, and I still just didn't feel it was my best performance, so I just didn't feel like my fans were getting the best of me.
Yeah, it's interesting take and a great question, Gil, because there are some of those guys who will say, I take a quick, short notice fight. I don't have to think about things. As long as you're training and in camp, I don't have to worry about, think about the same guy and the pressure that goes with it. But I could see that it's a double-edged sword for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to side with Cub on that, man. With preparation comes confidence, and I like that preparation. But you also have to take advantage of opportunities. And Cornett, I mean, he's ahead right now. He's on top, controlling the position. Nice little scramble, and Walters is settling here. Let's see if he has some jiu-jitsu off his back with the feet on the hips here, setting up maybe a triangle armbar. Ooh, Cornett lets him up.
Ooh. He wants to get after it. I like that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I like his confidence. Obviously, if you're going to take this, short notice fight on 3 days, you had to have seen something with the opponent that said, "I'll beat this guy on 3 days' notice," right?
That's a great point. That is a great point.
And if you look at him, I mean, I looked at his amateur record, 4-4. Okay, you got your ups and downs. I don't mind a 4-4 amateur record because you're figuring it out. But he only has 1 pro win. So there's something that he saw on tape that said, yeah, I want this. I want a piece of that.
Shad Walters now attacking that lead leg with the kicks, and then Cornett fires back. And 2 thumbs up from Walters.
Sportsmanship. Oh.
And Cornett slips, and
I'm not too sure. I saw a teep to the face when he went for the punch. I didn't see the
Looks like
nut
he's feeling a low blow.
So going back to that shot, right? He hit him, and it was kind of the back of the head. This is something I always talk about. Well, we'll
Let's
see the
take
nut
a
shot
look.
first.
Let's see the other.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, a little up
caught
kick
him
right
coming
there.
in
Yeah.
for the holiday
That was
season. Shot right there
That
to
was
the jingle
foot,
bells.
The foot uppercut is what I call it. Yeah, so that shot to the back of the head, right? This is something I always talk about. In boxing, they'll call that because you're not allowed to hit to the back of the head. But in our sport, MMA, because we're allowed to turn in the different angles, they'll never call that. As long as you're looking at your opponent, they're never going to call it. So you don't want to stop and kind of call a timeout. You want to keep going. Cornett should just followed up and kept bombing on him, honestly.
Yeah. Stay in character the whole time. I love that about MMA. We aren't boxing. We do. You have to, at all times, you got to stay ready, protect yourself at all times. And you're right. When you're trying to mount escape, anything, you're going to turn and give your head sometimes. These things happen.
Shad Walters and Patrick Cornett touch gloves. We're back at it. Walters, blue belt in BJJ, but a 2021 gold medalist in the Pan American Kickboxing Championships. And he started to use those kicks just a minute ago, guys, going and attacking that calf.
I think it's a good time for him to gain some respect back after that little pause, you know. He probably didn't expect his opponent to come out so hot, and now he needs to gain that respect back. Like, no, I'm in control of this fight.
Yeah, it seems like they're settling in. Oh, just as we see that, Cornett with the big overhand. And just a dynamic combination. Big overhand. Now he's on a single leg, lifting for the double. But Walters with the guillotine.
Standing guillotine. Cornett gets him down, but that guillotine is very tight. Right, Gil.
Man, it was one of those ones I almost wish he would have slammed it backwards.
Yeah.
Because the head was positioned the right way, and that's legal. If they're in a submission, you're allowed to slam them on their head. It's a little vicious, but it is what it is.
Oh, this is sport we do. I love it.
Yeah, we did see a couple knockouts that way last week, a few weeks ago.
Walter's doing a good job of staying on that neck here. You know, just he's still in this mix. I wouldn't say Cornett has the position yet till he pops his head out. So keeping on that head is keeping his scramble alive, able to get to his feet, you know, maybe get a sweep out of it. But Cornett has to respect it. And you can see Walters getting the space here. He's getting tighter on that guillotine.
Yeah, he needs to pass those legs. If you pass the legs, it takes the pressure off the choke. So the fact that Walters has his legs around him and has the neck, he can keep threatening the choke, try to get up, threaten the choke, and you kind of go back and forth until you get what you want.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. Cornett can pass to that right side, try to get to that side mount, relieve that pressure. That's a good catch right there.
Look at that. He used it
10
for a
seconds to
reversal.
go. Back on his feet. Some nasty elbows to the side of Cornett's head.
He definitely got one to the back of the head.
These knees by Walters, big overhand rights to the knee. I like the long knee combination, Dutch style straight up.
Walters finished that first round strong.
Yeah, like Cub was saying, you could tell, you know, Cornett came out very explosive, and you know that's a hard pace to keep up, and I think Walters did a great job of settling in, and you could tell he became more comfortable as the fight went on, and you know we're gonna see how good Cornett's cardio is with this 3-day notice, and how good Walters is with the full training camp.
Yeah, I think any coach is probably going to say, when you say, hey, should we take this fight on 3 days? The coach is going to say, well, let's get that first round finish and get out of there. That's what every coach is going to tell you. So
Right.
Here we are going into the second round. Let's see what the adjustment is.
Shad Walters, 1-0. Got that victory over Darius Miller here in the LFA. He went 1-1 in the Legacy Fighting Alliance Octagon as an amateur, training out of Northern Illinois Combat Club. And Patrick Cornett, I mentioned he's an actor. He's a DJ. He's currently on the Netflix series Obliterated. He's appeared on Gil's favorite show, 90 Day Fiancé, and American Ninja Warrior.
Maybe you can get his autograph after this.
I might have. Can I get a picture, please? He's an entertainer.
He really
He's
is.
an entertainer. He probably stepped up here. He's like
Real cool dude.
entertainment business right here.
Ron Kruk and Gilbert Melendez and Cub Swanson with you. LFA 173 preliminary action. What a card we have tonight. Back-to-back world championship title fights.
Oh!
A double knee almost?
Yeah, he countered the flying knee with the flying knee of his own.
I'll jump higher than you.
I got the hops.
And every time there's a spectacular technique, I love these two. They're high-fiving. They're like pointing, they're laughing, thumbs up.
Some respect right there.
Having some fun.
You gotta go. We can't just stand here in front of him.
So, Gil, do you think Cornett won the first round?
Yeah, it was a hard one to, I feel like Cornett won the first half, and I saw Walters kind of taking over, having more success in the second half, especially against the cage, landing those elbows there and settling in. But man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna lead towards Walters on that one.
Okay.
Barely. What about you?
I mean, I was thinking Cornett just because he had the bigger moves, but Walters did have that choke, and that is a threat, and it could have been something. But I would imagine that Walters would be the favorite from here on out, knowing that Cornett took it on 3 days' notice.
Yeah, just finish a little stronger. And, with us being kind of in the middle here and barely choosing that, you got to think the judges on the side are doing the same thing. 2 judges gave it to Cornett or to Walters, and I really doubt that all 3 of them agreed on that first one.
I'd agree with that.
Safe bet.
Walters again with the calf kicks. He's got to be careful. When he goes with those calf kicks, he puts his hands down, and that's when Cornett's got that opportunity. 2 victories, both coming by way of knockout, and that is the power I'm referring to.
These guys are going.
Walters is wobbling. Cornett looking for the victory, pushing him up into the corner, right in front of us.
He needs to get some space and get back to hitting him. He's letting him back in.
Hammer fist. My goodness. Walters trying to go for attack the knee bar here.
Just past the halfway point of the second round, Cornett drops. Walters has plenty of time to operate from this spot in this position.
Big moment for Cornett right here, holding the back of the neck of Walters, throwing some strike, and Walters back to his feet.
Wow.
I'm enjoying this fight.
That's a good one, right? That's a good one.
Shad Walters back on his feet. Oh, Cornett just missing.
Two southpaws training big overhand lefts.
Good point, yep. Walters won victory coming by way of knockout as well.
Ooh, Walters got the mouth open.
He's still recovering.
I bet, right?
I like that he's attacking the leg because, when you're fighting someone who's explosive, you want to tear down, tear the tires out,
Well
but
said.
he needs to set it up a little better because we're seeing him getting countered.
Absolutely.
And you would think the longer this fight goes, probably the better for Shad Walters, since Patrick Cornett just took this fight on 3 days' notice.
Well, we thought that, but it looks like Cornett is, look how great a shape he's in. His mouth's not open. He's doing a great job, and big punch, dropping Walters. Walters is looking a little more fatigued, but we know one strike can change things.
Yeah, do you know what makes people tired? Stress.
True.
You almost get knocked out, you're surviving, you're stressed out, your heart rate's going a little faster. People don't realize how much that burns your cardio.
Absolutely. You want to be composed.
Missing punches also takes a lot of cardio.
We've got 30 seconds left as Walters catches Cornett on the way in.
And Walters needs his moment, just like Cornett. He needs his big shot to land. Beautiful level change. Head on the outside single by Cornett. Runs the pipe. Lands in the guard of Walters.
Nice takedown here towards the end of the round, though Walters made him pay for it with those elbows to the side of the head. Time winds down here in the second round. Make sure you are following the Legacy Fighting Alliance on all social media platforms at LFA Fighting. Glad you could be a part of the LFA 173 preliminary action here on Facebook and YouTube. Guys, we check out some of the action here in the second frame.
Is this the double flying knee? Yeah, Cornett goes with the flying knee, but Walters just goes one level higher and beats him to it. And then there you got Cornett just landing that big overhand. Walters is just not setting up those kicks properly, and he's just wide open with his chin when he's throwing the kicks. He needs to keep his hands up, or he needs to throw a jab, something first to get Cornett, you know, his attention upstairs before he gets kicked. 2 close rounds for sure, though.
Patrick Cornett making his LFA debut tonight, 32 years old. And Shad Walters looking to improve to 2-0 with both victories here in the LFA Octagon.
So in the 3rd round, this is when low kicks are a little less important. If you haven't done a lot of damage by now, it's the 3rd round. You need to start, you know, going upstairs and trying to look for the finish, especially if you might be down on the cards.
Yeah, Walters is going to have to bite down the mouthpiece and stay in that chaos a little bit longer and try to have his own Cornett moment, because I think he is losing this fight now.
Punches his way in for a takedown, and Shad Walters gets it.
Hey, that's not a bad decision, right? It's not the end of the round, it's the beginning of the round. Maybe something can work here. I was saying, hey, get in the phone booth and start swinging, or let's take him down and let's see what he has on his back.
Yeah, and it's an early takedown. What that means is he's got 4 minutes to do what he can. Beat him up a little bit. Maybe he lets him up with a minute left and then goes for the knockout. When he's got a lot of energy, his partner's been stressed on his back trying to get up, thinking he has the fight won, going, oh, don't let this slip.
Exactly, and I hate when it's the opposite. You know, when it's 30 seconds left and you're down, you need the knockout, and they go for the takedown. You're like, oh, come on, man, you got short time, you know. But
right.
to Cub's point, this is where you experiment with that strategy.
Shad Walters very comfortable in the grappling department. Blue belt with BJJ. This is his 2nd fight in 70 days.
Yeah, you definitely didn't do that with your legendary fight with Diego Sanchez.
Oh, no.
Oh, my brother. Yeah, good times, man, good times.
I remember watching that. I was at a Harley Davidson dealership in Texas at a viewing party, and it was like freezing, and I was like, oh my God, this fight is crazy.
Freezing in Texas?
Every once in a while.
Yeah, Cornett has to understand that he can possibly still lose this fight if he's stuck on bottom. Like we said in that 1st round, you know, Cub and I we knew the 1st round was close. I said Walters, he said Cornett.
Go either way,
it
sure.
could go either way. So even though we had that dominant 2nd round, and I kind of believe Cornett is technically winning the fight, but can still lose the scorecards.
Yeah, he needs to get back to work. I mean, he might be saving energy. We know that he didn't get the full camp, so he might be just conserving and waiting for his chance.
He might have his chance. Look at that. Look, I got that Kimura grip with the shin in there.
Great call.
I mean, he could use his feet, kick off the cage. He could transition, do a switch. But he's got to do something. You can't just sit there with it.
Yeah, so what do you think? Does Walter stay here and try to ride it out and say, hey, I won the fight? Or do we let him up and go for the kill? Or let's see what happens.
You know, one thing people don't do enough is ground and pound the body.
He was throwing a few short elbows while he was down there, but that's a great point, Cub. And now you see Walters on the back of Cornett.
1 hook in, 2 hooks in.
I can hear the corner of Pat Cornett. They're saying, come on, we need to roll.
Sometimes your arms are so burnt out by this point, though. You're trying to squeeze, and you're got all that lactic acid, and your arms are going, nope. So he like we were saying, he might, if he can't get the choke right away, he might as well just stand up and try to knock him out.
Or do you think he can win right here? You know, I'm wondering, like, it's like, I think you're right. I think we let him, but he may win because, I mean, I don't want to call it a 10-8, but he's done everything and nothing has happened for Cornett this round. I really want him to get up and do something explosive because I want to get that picture with them afterwards if he wins.
You think the fiance is here?
I know, right?
90-day fiance.
They usually have them at home somewhere. They usually are doing work. Someone's always winning on that 90-day fiance. Dude. It's brutal.
I mean, this sounds like we should do a post of show on that.
And my
man.
wife got me on that. I
Yeah,
don't watch
don't
it for
blame
fun.
Carrie. Don't do it. Just like that. Patrick Cornett taps out. Shad Walters took his time. You mentioned it, Cub had plenty of time after the takedown to work a submission, and he got it.
Grinded him down. That's what you got to do sometimes. Grind him down, and eventually that little bit, and he got it.
Yeah, man, I'm gutted for Cornett, man. He did such a fantastic job. And
Yes, he did.
he just couldn't dig deep in that third round, got taken down, and was just kind of stuck there.
And how gassed do you think he was, guys? Because once he got taken down in that third, he had no answer.
Yeah, that had to be it. That had to be it. And maybe they can run it back with the full
definitely
camp.
a factor. Definitely a factor. As we check out, there is the early takedown from Shad Walters, and Patrick Cornett never got back up.
Was that his first takedown attempt?
I think it was.
That's why I always had a high takedown percentage, because people didn't expect me to shoot. So when I did, they were not expecting it, and they don't defend it. So that was very smart of him to pull that out of his bag of tricks late in the fight and capitalize.
Yeah, just as Cornett thinks it's a striking battle and a flawless, easy takedown. Those are the best ones. Those are the best ones.
Well, Shad Walters remains unbeaten. We're going to get the official time from Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the fight. 4 minutes, 36 seconds into the third round, declaring your winner by tap out in a rear naked choke, relentless Shad Walters.
What a win for Walters, man.
Absolutely.
What a comeback.
Because he was in some trouble early on, fellas.
Oh, absolutely. He could have been losing. I wonder what the scorecards were. I wonder if he would have won if he stayed on top, or he needed that finish.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. And I'm happy for him, too. He doesn't have his acting career to fall back on. You know, he's a little bit more invested in this sport, so I'm happy for him.